breathe it in. Breathe in the gloriousness that is 2017's greatest movies of the year. I'll tell you what, Joe Dini is here to give you that list, and only that list, for this video. So sit back and relax. I wish I had my wine with me, but I'm cutting down. I'll tell you what.
Number 10.
Wish there was a woman here to help me with this. Oh wait, there is. Wonder Woman is number 10. Greatest superhero movie this year. I mean, my God, this didn't even feel like a superhero movie. This felt like a period piece with a little bit of superhero elements in it. That's what it really felt like. It was different than any other superhero movie that I've ever seen in years. And that's saying something. They took a huge risk. They went all out with Patty Jenkins, who has not directed a movie in 14 years. Since 2003 with Monster. An Academy nomination, and it has not been seen since. And who knows what they're going to do with the Oscars this year, but if there's any superhero movie that deserves to be in that spot, it's Wonder Woman.
Number 9.
So I only got to chapter 2, but that's only because there are only 2 chapters. John Wick chapter 2 is number 9. The movie poster is awesome. The storyline is better than the first movie. The first movie got attention because of its cult film status, but the second movie improved on its storytelling, on its development of John Wick, and you have tremendous characters in Common, who I never would have thought that he would pull out something like that. The action in this movie was a lot better than the first one. Plus, you got the reuniting of Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves from The Matrix. That was pretty cool to see. And of course, the whole line, "Somebody please get this man a gun." Plus, the ending makes you excited for the third movie. Don't you agree?
Which they're writing.
Oh, that put shivers down my spine when he was running away knowing that all these hitmen were coming for him. I was like, make it come out next year, please.
Number 8.
Guys, I would like to stay, but I can't. But I can't get out. That's my choice. For a horror movie from Jordan Peele, that's what got my attention. A Key and Peele guy is doing a horror movie. Now, at first I'm like, how's that gonna work? This is a comedy guy and he's doing horror. Does he have any horror experience whatsoever? Then the reviews came out. And they're like, holy shit, this is actually a good horror movie. Then I went to see it and I'm like, holy shit, he's making fun of other horror movies. He's being funny and being creepy at the same time. Plus, it's black versus white, which is obviously like a common social issue that's going on right now. So you combine all those things together, and you got something that's actually pretty good.
Number 7.
Now, I'll say this right now. Lady Bird is not gonna get shaved because my son is not allergic to Lady Bird. King of the Hill reference, but Lady Bird is number 7. I would have put it higher, but considering I enjoyed more films than this, I will say this. It brought me back to high school. Even though I'm not a girl, and none of us on the Putnam crew are girls, we're all dudes, I can at least say I can see it from the other side. Because there are some things that are going on through high school that we've all went through, and that was just some of the things that we went through back then. Trying to get through college, knowing that the idea that we may never see our friends again, graduating, dating people and then finding out they're actually gay. Or trying to do a play when your director is the football coach and he's directing you like a football coach. Okay, character 8, you're gonna go here, and then character 10, you're gonna move in like this. Go, 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 go. A football coach trying to direct Shakespeare. They should have made that into a full-fledged movie, I'll tell you what.
Number 6.
God, why didn't I not put this on my worst list? This was such a disaster. Oh, that's right, because it was actually good. 6 is The Disaster Artist. Now, I love the book. I actually made everybody read the book because I was like the first one to actually read it. And I was like, guys, you gotta read this. It's behind the scenes of The Room. You gotta watch this. I did a Legends of the Internet episode based on all the behind the scenes stuff. It's one of my best episodes to date. Shane and Alex cracked up for like 10 minutes nonstop.
Actually, you didn't actually make me read the book. I read it on my own.
They cut a lot of stuff out of that book. I'll say that. A lot of the stuff that they ended up putting in the screenplay was for the sole purpose of trying to make it into a movie instead of like just going point by point. But the Franco brothers, first time that they ever been together in a movie. of this magnitude. And James Franco has not been good in directing at all. He's not made some great movies as a director. This is probably his first where he's gotten recognition for his directing. And since 127 Hours was the last time he got nominated for Best Actor. So playing Tommy Wiseau and getting a Best Actor nomination, just think about that. James Franco, a Best Actor nomination for playing Tommy Wiseau.
That'd be amazing.
That is going to... No, it's going to happen. But just think about that. Can you ever imagine that this would ever happen? That somebody would play Tommy Wiseau and get a Best Actor nomination for playing that weird-ass man?
Number 5.
4, 5, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1. That's the ranking that I put all of these movies for Star Wars. The Last Jedi was fantastic. I love the direction that they took it. It was so different. I love how it felt. It didn't feel like a Star Wars movie. That was what the great thing about it was. It was its own thing, but it was very refreshing to watch. And I love the way that they took Luke's character. I like the fact that he's becoming like the fallen hero and now he's got to, redeem himself. The fact that they were able to have a compelling story with a lot of conflict and also with the rise of Kylo Ren. God, they did so many things to get you hyped for Episode 9, and I do not agree with Star Wars fans saying that this was absolute shit. I don't think you're fully appreciating what was given to you.
Number 4.
Now, I'm the only one that saw this movie, and I've been trying to get everyone else to see it, because we live in Florida, and obviously we've gone to Disney World many times, but we don't know what goes on in the outskirts of Disney World. Number 4 is The Florida Project. William Dafoe playing the owner of the motel, where the main characters live. He's the only actor that's recognizable in this movie because everybody is a bunch of newbies. The movie basically follows these 6 kids as they're enjoying their summer at the motel on the outskirts of Disney World. But you have Green Goblin, who's probably got the Best Supporting Actor nomination locked in for himself. He was great in that movie. But I will say, the final 10 minutes is the most intense 10 minutes in a movie that I've ever seen this year. You're going to watch that 10 minutes and you're going to go, whoa, what the fuck is this? Plus, this is the same director that shot an entire movie on an iPhone when he did Tangerine. Now he came back. He's doing 35mm, but I will say this. He does bring the iPhone back in one portion. I'm not going to tell you which part, but you'll obviously tell it's from an iPhone.
Number 3.
You ever wanted to see a grown man cry? You ever wanted to see a grown man cry while the person sitting next to you is holding your hand because you're crying that much? Well, that's what Coco did to me. Coco made me cry. Made me cry more than Inside Out did. And I'll say it right now, Coco is better than Inside Out. I love the whole Day of the Dead stuff. Benjamin Bratt as the main villain. Ernesto de la Cruz. Probably the only person besides Gabriel Iglesias that I recognize as a voice actor. But God, that whole Day of the Dead thing I thought was a great idea. It just looked so beautiful. And that whole Day of the Dead, like, shrines to everything. And how everybody is like, this is what happens when you die and you go to this place. I'm like, man. The fact that you have this little kid that just wants to play music. He wants to grow up to be the new Santana. But his family won't let him because music is forbidden in their family. That original song, though, that's going to win for Best Original Song.
Yes,
I'm telling you right now. God, that was so touching.
Number 2.
Now, if it wasn't for my number 1 being what it was, this would be my number 1. Because this movie beats out my number 1 if it was individually. But I'll get to that later. God, was this movie so enriching. Not only it will change your life. Number 2, The Shape of Water. My God, that was so beautiful. The fact that it was only a $20 million budget movie. He took something with that amount of money and did things visually, which for a director is very hard to do. Del Toro is a genius. This man just knows how to make characters. He knows how to get something out of his actors. He's what I call the ultimate director. He just knows what he wants and he gets it. And when he gets it, it's really good. Now, is this on level with Pan's Labyrinth?
I don't
No.
quite think so, no.
But it's this close.
It's close,
It's
yeah,
this
it is
close.
close.
God, the movie was beautiful. It has that classic love story. God, but just that final few minutes.
Mhm.
Just that build up to what happened there. Whew! I'll tell you what.
Classic movie magic, seriously.
Yeah.
It's number 1.
All right, first time in list history. My number 1 is a tie between two movies. It's a tie between two movies because think about this. These two movies practically tell the same story, but you're getting two different perspectives. Dunkirk tells the story of all the soldiers on the Dunkirk beach. Darkest Hour is telling the story of Winston Churchill trying to get the soldiers out of Dunkirk and fighting the Nazis.
Darkest Hour is such a great companion piece to Dunkirk.
Oh,
seriously.
they should have put these two movies together and made a super movie. Nolan and Joe Wright, if they would have gotten those two together, they could have made the ultimate war movie right here.
I agree.
You have Churchill with all the stuff that was going on, trying to do peace negotiations, and he's like, no, we better fight. And then you have all the soldiers on Dunkirk wondering if they're going to make out of this thing alive. God, best Nolan movie that I've ever seen. I've never gone on record and saying, oh my God, this was such a masterpiece. Dunkirk was the first Nolan movie that I would say is a masterpiece. Joe Wright doing this, I mean, how he got Gary Oldman to look like Winston Churchill, act like him, get his mannerisms down, and make him effective into his entire speech. Which, by the way, we will fight him in the streets. We will fight him. That's the way both movies end. That's why I can't pick between the two. By themselves individually, Shape of Water beats both of them. But together, you have a super film. That's practically the same story that I've never seen a year where you had two movies that had the same topic but from two different perspectives. I want to make a fan trailer of putting those two movies together and trying to make something out of that. That's how great both of those were. Okay, guys. That's it for this year. Wait till next year when it's going to be geeky as shit. But who knows what next year is going to bring. This year was the most unpredictable in terms of who is going to be the best. I'm telling you that right now. Every year before that, it was always obvious. But this year, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. So check out my worst list. Check out Shane's video. Lucas is going to be up next tomorrow. So look forward to that. And if I had my wine with me, I would say, drink on.